Yo. What's going on, everybody out there? Stanley Allison here. Saying what's up. Everybody wants me to tell one of the stories. Although I'm not sure why. You know. So, what they would do, they would fly us down there. It's not really down there, it's more like over there, you know. And, these things are going so far at this point, you know, and you're within the spectrum that gravitates around you to the point that you have to get concerned with yourself in order to concern yourself with others. And they would be like, Mr. Keefe, don't get used to it. So we go over there one time. It's all sort of mountainous, you know? And then there's this clear area down there. It's all good, you know? It's real clear. And they put us down in between these two valleys. There's two valleys, or side by side. The mountains were split apart. If the mountains weren't split apart, it would have been one big valley. But the mountain was split apart, and there was two valleys. And we land down there. He looks over and he says, "Want to show you the zoo?" I say, "You have a zoo?" He's like, "I have a zoo that prepares you for what you're going to see." I say, "Well, let's go. Let's see." And what was there were these animals. They weren't even really animals, more or less. They were just, you know, they were like a step in evolution, you know, with each new habitat that they had there. And it was basically all the creatures that would be in North America if we didn't have, you know, such firepower, you know. And they would say things like, you know, if we weren't in here, you would be on the next menu, you know. I know, it's crazy, but that's like the general gist. And the other few times, we actually flew through them, so it doesn't really matter, you know, what sort of, you know, creatures are down there. All shapes and sizes, you know, there's some bigger, there's some littler, you know. But it was pretty wild, though. I told him it was because he could prove that he's been around the longest. You know, that he's actually been around the longest. And by the way the others spoke of him, and the others, you know, cosmically thought of him, you know. So the other things were, you know, minute. There were so many good graces and, you know, so many positive things in an evolutionary way to say of the things that he's done, even though the things that he's done on a bigger scale may be questionable. But how is it questionable when it works out in the evolutionary path? That's what I don't understand. You know? It was pretty interesting though, because you never get tested like that all the time. You know what I mean? Unless they happen just to drop one and let it roll, you know what I mean? Sometimes they do. Sometimes you get into those situations where it's like a Godzilla or a King Kong, you know what I mean? Or a very, very big Goliath, you know, that gets dropped down onto the face of the earth, you know. But I mean, there are so many shelves, so many drops from here to there, you know, that it's amazing that, you know, they don't have an evolutionary pool about them, you know. Maybe one day they'll have those too.